it's Annie from the youth room at the BB Library, and I'm so glad that you could join me today for another story time. We'll read some stories together, sing a couple of songs, and do a craft together as well. Now this week I'm thinking a lot about outer space, and especially people who travel there, astronauts. So I want to share with you a couple stories today that are all about kids that hope to one day travel to outer space themselves as astronauts. So the first story I thought we could read together today is Astro Girl, and this one is written by Ken Wilson Max. And after Astro Girl, I thought we could also read Rocket Says, Look Up! And this one is by Nathan Bryan, and it was illustrated by Dapo Adiola. So since we're reading about these kids that hope to travel to outer space, for our craft today, I thought we could make something that you would use to travel into outer space. Can you think of what that is? You might see it right behind me here. A rocket ship! And this is a pretty cool rocket ship too, because it is also a windsock, so you can hang it, and it really looks like this rocket is blasting off into outer space. So to make your rocket windsock, you're going to need a couple different things for this one. First, we need a toilet paper roll. We also need some construction paper. We will need our scissors for this, as well as our tape and glue. You can use either or. Tape might be a little bit more handy for this one, but I ended up using both in mine. We are also going to need some string. I have a little yarn here, so we can hang our windsocks. And last but not least, you're going to need something to make the fire underneath the rocket ship. Now for this one, I had some yellow and red streamers, so I used those. But you can also use construction paper, you can use tissue paper, so there's a lot of different things that you can use for this. Streamers were what I used, so I'm going to use those in our craft today. And we will make our rocket ships after we read our stories and sing a few songs together today. So I'm going to put this to the side. And before we jump in and start reading our stories, how about we sing our song, Hello Friends, to greet each other. And for this song, we're going to use a little bit of American Sign Language as well as our voices to sing. So I'll show you the different signs and then we can sing together. So the first sign that we need is hello. And I'm going to take my hand and just give a little, almost like a salute. Hello. Friends, I'm going to take my 2 pointer fingers and I'm going to tap them one on top of the other. Tap, tap. Friends. It's time. I'm going to tap my wrist for time. To say, I point to my lips for say. Hello. And I salute again. Ready to sing? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends, it's time to say hello. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends, it's time to say hello. That was excellent. Thank you for singing with me. Now, before we go into our books, there's one more thing I always like to do, which is to wake up a couple different body parts so I'm nice and awake for our stories. Let's start with waking up our hands, and we can wake those up with a couple of claps. Ready? We wake up our hands with a clap, 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 clap. We wake up our hands with a clap, 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 and we wiggle our waggles away. We wake up our feet with a march, 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 march. March, 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 we wake up our feet with a march, 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 and we wiggle our waggles away. We wake up our wrists with a twist, 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 twist. We wake up our wrists with a twist, 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 and we wiggle our waggles away. Let's do one big one to get all of those wiggles out. Ready? Phew! I'm nice and awake now. How about you? Let's go ahead and jump right into our first story, which is Astro Girl. So we're going to see what this little girl Astrid and her father do while her mother is away. This is Astro Girl by Ken Wilson Max. Astrid had loved the stars and space ever since she could remember. I want to be an astronaut, Astrid told her best friend Jake as they gazed up at the stars. Will you bring me an asteroid when you come back from space? Asked Jake. Of course I will, Jakey. I want to be an astronaut, Astrid said at breakfast. Are you sure? Said Papa. You'll have to go round and round the Earth in your spaceship. He swung her around. I can do that, Astrid said, giggling. What about eating food out of a tube or a package every day, like astronauts do? I can do that, said Astrid as she munched a cereal bar. Okay, Astro Girl, you'll also have to get used to zero gravity. Papa threw her up in the air. I can do that all day long, Astrid laughed. What about all the science experiments? Asked Papa. Could you do those, my brave explorer? No problem, said Astrid as they made rocket ship cookies. Will a space cadet like you be able to sleep on your own among the stars? Papa asked. I think that will be very hard, but I'll do it, Astrid whispered. At last, it was time to go get Mama. Astrid wore her favorite space t-shirt. I wonder where Mama is. Where do you think they'll go to get her? Let's find out. At the Space Center, Astrid and her papa moved to the front of the crowd just as the doors opened. Where do you think Astrid's mother was? Mama! Astrid gave her mama a big kiss. I missed you, said Astrid. I want to be an astronaut just like you, said Astrid. You're my hero. So her mom was up in outer space, and Astrid wants to be an astronaut just like her mother. And this is a great book to take out of the library as well. In the back, you can learn some more information about outer space and other famous astronauts, all women astronauts, such as May Carol Jemison, who we will actually hear a little bit about in the next book that we read together. But before we jump into our next one, I need to get a couple of wiggles out before I do another book. So I'm going to start by wiggling my fingers a little bit. Do you want to wiggle your fingers with me? And how about your toes? Can you give your toes a little wiggle with me? And let's see, I'm going to try my shoulders now. Do you want to wiggle your shoulders with me? That one's a fun one. And how about your nose? Nose is a really tough one for me. Can you wiggle your nose? Let's try them all together. Ready? I wiggle my fingers. I wiggle my toes. I wiggle my shoulders, and I wiggle my nose. Phew! Now all the wiggles are out of me, and I'm as still can be. So let's see what our next story is about. This one is one of my personal favorites. Rocket says, "Look up." And Rocket Says Look Up was written by Nathan Bryan, and the illustrations were done by Dappa Adiola. night before bed, I set up my telescope and wish upon a star. Mom tells me that I never stop looking up and my head is always floating in the clouds. But she can't tell me that I look up more than my big brother Jamal looks down at his silly phone. Jamal says I'm called Rocket because I've got fiery breath. But Mom says it's because a famous rocket blasted off into space the day I was born. All I know is that one day I'm going to be the greatest astronaut, star catcher, spacewalker who has ever lived, like Mae Jemison, the first African-American woman in space. Hey, did you know Mae Jemison went into orbit around the Earth in a space shuttle called the Endeavour, even though she's afraid of heights? So that was pretty brave, because you're pretty high up in the air in outer space. I'm totally prepared. I've defied gravity, captured rare and exotic life forms, and built a ship to the stars. For today's mission, I'm going to see something incredible. The Phoenix meteor shower. I want everyone to see it with me, so I've made some flyers to hand out. And Rocket's flyers say, "Come and see the Phoenix meteor shower with me tonight. Meet at my house, 7 p.m. Jamal is going to take me to the park to see the meteor shower. But first, we have to go to the supermarket. While he is looking for the milk, I will be trying to find the astronaut food. Did you know meteor showers happen when Earth moves through a trail of dust left by a comet? Did you know that most meteors are smaller than a grain of sand? Did you know meteors are bits of dust burning up in the atmosphere? Did you know the best time to see a meteor shower is when it's dark with no clouds? Well, Rocket's really telling everyone everything that she knows about space and meteor showers. In the supermarket, when Kathy the cashier isn't looking, I grab the microphone. What do you think Rocket is going to yell into that supermarket microphone? Let's see what she says. For one night only, come out and witness the amazing Phoenix meteor shower. And everyone looks up. Kathy takes her microphone back as I hand out my flyers to the other people in line. I think Jamal might be a tiny bit annoyed with me. The Phoenix meteor shower will be coming soon. We better drop off the shopping and get back to the park fast. Look out! Uh-oh. What happened to Jamal? Looks like a car drove by and sprayed him by accident. He got all wet. Uh-oh. Ha ha, says Rocket. That wouldn't have happened if you had just looked up. But I don't think Jamal found that too funny. Now Jamal is even more annoyed with me, and he says he won't take me to the park anymore. But when we get home, Mom saves the day. Come on, Jamal, she says. Put the phone down and take your little sister to the park. Yes! I jump up and do my famous victory dance around the room. I grab my jetpack backpack, but Jamal is still glued to his game. Wait till I complete this level, Rocket, he grumbles. As we're about to leave, the doorbell rings. Wow! Look at all those people there. It's half the people from my street, and they're all holding my flyers. To the park! I yell at the top of my lungs. Everyone is so excited. My neck is aching from staring up into the night sky, but I won't stop. I can't miss it. Suddenly, the park goes silent. Even the birds are holding their breath. Everyone points their telescopes and binoculars up at the sky. Everyone but Jamal, who is still looking down at his phone. I think I see it, I shout. But it's just a plane flying overhead. Everyone moans and groans. We wait and wait and wait. One by one, people start to leave. Maybe the Phoenix meteor shower was a myth after all. Maybe that's why Jamal didn't want to come along. Maybe everyone is upset with me for wasting their time. I've never, ever felt this sad before. Jamal looks at me for the first time today. It feels like the first time ever. I've turned my phone off, sis, he says. I'm sorry for making you wait for nothing, Jamal. Let's go home. Suddenly, there is a big, bright light in the sky. What do you think the big, bright light in the sky is? Look up! Let's see what everybody sees up there. The Phoenix meteor shower. I'm speechless, Jamal says. He pulls out his thermos and pours me a cup of hot chocolate. Yummy. We both sit down on the hill, watching the meteors zoom across the sky. I'm so happy we looked up and saw them together. Did you know? One day I'm going to have a meteor shower named after me. So that was pretty fun. They finally got to see their meteor shower in the end, right? Well, thank you so much for reading those stories with me. How about we sing a couple of songs together now? To start off, I thought that we could sing a classic space-related song, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. How about we sing this one 2 times together? Ready? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. One more time, ready? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Great job! How about we do another one where we can move our hands a bit today? Let's go ahead and do open, shut them. So you'll want to listen to my words and follow my actions. Ready? And we'll do this one 2 times as well. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Put them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, crawl them, creep them, crawl them. Right up to your chin, chin, chin. Open wide, ah, your little mouth, but do not let them in. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Put them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, crawl them, creep them, crawl them. Right up to your chin, chin, chin. Open wide, ah, your little mouth, but do not let them in. Great job! Let's do another one, and this will be both a song about going into space on a rocket ship. It's called Zoom, 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 and we're also going to use our hands a little bit for this one as well. So it goes like this. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. If you want to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Let's do that one again. Ready? Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. If you want to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Do you think we could try that one even faster? Let's try it a little bit faster. Ready? Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. If you want to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Do you think we can do one super speedy round? Let's try it. I'm gonna take a big breath for this one so I can fit all those words in. Ready? Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. If you want to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! That was so speedy, I forgot all of my numbers there. Did you forget any of your numbers doing that? It's hard to get them in that fast, huh? Well, let's do one more song together, and then we'll start working on our craft for today. So for our last song, we're gonna sing Goodbye, Friends. And this is pretty similar to the first song we sang called Hello, Friends. But this time, instead of saying hello, we're gonna say goodbye. And we're gonna use some American Sign Language for this one too. So I'll show you the signs, and then we'll go ahead and sing together. So the first sign that we need is goodbye. And I'm just gonna take my hand and give a little wave. Goodbye. Friends, I'm gonna take our pointer fingers and tap them crisscross. Friends. It's time. We're gonna tap our wrist for time. To say, point to our lips for say. Goodbye. And give a little wave with our hand for goodbye. Ready? Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Well, thank you so much for singing with me. That was great. And I'm very excited to get started on our special craft for today. And again, today we are making, blast off, our windsock rocket ships. Can hang in the air. And to make our windsock rocket ships, we're going to need a couple different things. First, we need a toilet paper roll to be our rocket ship. We need some construction paper, any color you like will do. We also need a pair of scissors and some tape and some glue. And we need a little bit of string, yarn, ribbon works great too, whatever you would like to use for yours. And last but not least, we need something to make the fire under our rocket ship with. So I picked some streamers for this. You can also use tissue paper, you can also use construction paper too. So lots of cool choices, and you can use whatever you like best for your rocket ship. So the first thing that we need to do to create our rocket ships, we're going to work on the body of our rocket here, the main part. And for that, we are going to use our toilet paper roll. Now, what you can do, you can always paint this. You can also use markers or crayons if you like to decorate it. For mine, I decided to use some construction paper, and I'm going to tape that right around my toilet paper roll. So you can see I cut out a nice rectangle the size of my toilet paper roll, so I can roll it right around like that. So I'm going to put a little bit of my glue on here so I can make sure it sticks and doesn't go anywhere. And once I have the glue on here, I'm just going to wrap my paper right around my toilet paper roll. And again, you can pick any color that you like. For my first one, I decided to make a purple rocket ship, but you can see this one is going to be a red one. And I'm just wrapping it right around and just pressing it down so it stays nice and in place. And then after I have that, I need to add a couple of things to my rocket ship. And a nice little thing too, if you do have a little bit of trouble getting this to stay down with glue, you can always use a little bit of tape and just make sure it stays put. So let's get a couple of our shapes that we're going to need next for this. First we need 2 circles for windows. So you can pick any color you like. I'm going to use light blue circles for this one. And again, I am just going to use a little bit of glue. You can also use tape, but I'm going to use glue for mine. And I'm going to put them right onto my rocket ship. And I'm just going to press them down right there. 1 and 2. And again, if you have any trouble getting these to stay down, you can always use just a little bit of tape on there to get those windows to stay put, so the astronauts can look out the windows and see all the stars in outer space. So we've got our windows, and now I need some wings for the rocket ship. So for this, I'm going to cut out 2 triangles, 1 and 2. Now I'm going to put them one on top of the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold them a little bit so I can tape or glue the folded part on there so they stick out. So once I have my 2, I'm going to give them a nice fold like this. But you'll notice they're sticking out a little bit too much at the top, so I'm going to use my scissors here and just cut a little bit off of this top part. Perfect. Now I have my 2 wings and they have a little fold in them, so I'm just going to use my glue stick again, and I'm putting glue right on this fold here so I can glue the wings of my rocket ship right in place. And I'm going to put those on the side of my rocket right here. And you can also get pretty creative with this too. My wings are plain, but maybe you want to use a marker or color pencil and you can write your initials or something, maybe give your rocket ship a cool name. Can even use different stickers if you like to decorate this. You can get really creative with stuff like this. I'm just putting a little bit more glue on the flap of my second wing, and there we go. So I've got both wings on, and when you turn it around, you can see where they're folded on the sides, just like that, how we folded them. Now I need a top for my rocket ship. So for this one, I'm gonna take a really big circle to be the top of this. And then I'm gonna use my scissors and I'm gonna cut out sort of a nice big triangle from this. This part's a little bit trickier, so sometimes it can help to have an adult give a little extra help with this. I always think of this as sort of like making a Pac-Man that has its mouth really wide open. And I'm just gonna pull that out. So it's sort of a third of this almost. I'm not a math person. All right, now we're gonna take this and I am going to wrap it and fold it into a little cone, just like that. And again, you can always glue here. I'm gonna use a little bit of tape and just make sure that stays nice and snug in place. Now we have to put the top of our rocket ship onto the bottom of it. This is probably the trickiest part of this. So I'm gonna do two things here. I'm gonna put glue all around the top part of this, but that's not really gonna be enough to keep it in place. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take two pieces of tape and I'm gonna stick them on either side. So they're gonna stick up like this. And then I'm gonna bend the tape back so the sticky parts are facing up. And I'm gonna put the top of my rocket right there. And then you can sort of reach up and feel where the tape is, and you should be able to just sort of press it down against the top of the rocket like that. And you can give it a little wiggle, make sure it's not going anywhere. And we're all set with that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add the fire to the end of my rocket as it's blasting off. So for this, again, I decided to use some streamers for this. And I'm gonna cut out I'm just gonna cut these into a few different strips. You can make as many as you want. For mine, it's gonna be 3 yellow ones and 3 red ones. You can pick any amount that you like, and you can also use other colors too. You could always use some orange ones. And then once I have them, I'm just gonna tape them right to the inside of my rocket ship like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that for all 6 of my little fire strips. More in there, and I just have 2 more to go. And we'll just get those right on the tape. And whoop, in they go right there. So now if you don't want to hang it up, you can actually keep your rocket just like this, and you can make it zoom around with your hand. I'm going to put a little bit of string on mine. So here's my yarn that I'm using for this. And I have a pretty long piece. I'm going to just put the ends of this together so we can hang right at the top. And I'm going to use a piece of tape. And nice and easy, I'm just going to tape this right to the top of my rocket ship. And let's give it a test run and see how it works. 1, 2, 3, blast off! And there we go. There's how you make your little windsock rockets. These guys can blast off and hang out in outer space together now. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today and enjoying our story, songs, and our very creative crafts today as well. I had a great time with you, and I will see you again next week. See you later.